just because you think that is cool. You have to know who you are actually communicating to in order to use a particular type of jargon that would resonate with the person that you are talking to. It's important to keep that in mind. That's how you keep your communication clear. No jargon, reduce filler words, articulate clearly. That's just that. Okay. So now the second C is actually concise. Your communication has to be concise. Sometimes we speak, we go around the bush. We do what is called the secular reasoning, or maybe it could be drama dumping. So we say much than it's necessary when it comes to communicating. It shouldn't be, because we just lose the person that we are talking to. Remember, our attention span is so short now that if you are trying to speak, whether you're doing a presentation, if in the next 30 seconds, even less than that, you don't capture the person's attention like this, they're going to check out. So that's why going around the bush is not necessary. If it's not something that is supposed to be in your communication, don't use it. So your communication has to be very brief. And then we often refer to so many, like a pitch, for instance. When you're doing your pitch or when you do your introduction, you don't have to tell a whole story how you were born and how were dealt with life when you were born or whatever. No, you just say something that is quick, to the point, that is brief. Everybody would love that, right? And one way you do that is to prepare. You have to prepare. If you go into network meeting, you just don't go there and hope that you would be good at, like networking and introducing yourself, what you do with people. No, you practice at home. So, hi, you can practice in front of mirror. Hi, my name is this. I do this, and this is what. So that's how you do. You practice it. And by practicing, that means you can structure whatever you're going to say. And it's much easier when you have a structure, or when you have the bullet point. If you're doing a great presentation, have the bullet point, because it would always bring you back home, those points. But if you want to speak, because I've heard many people say, I'm just going to go there and speak from their heart. No, there is no heart here. While it is good to maintain authenticity when you speak, but it's good to keep it interesting. And you can only keep it interesting if it's concise, if it's to the point, even if you speak from the heart, right? So that's how the concise element of communication look like. It has to be short, brief, right there. My name is this. This is what I do. This is what I can do to help you. Or this is what my product, my service can help your situation. So it has to be that quick and that brief. Any question about that? Because I'm not going so much into a nitty-gritty detail based on the time that we do have. Any question about how you can make your communication very concise?
I want to chime on concise.
Was that
As an improv actor, I have 60 seconds or 90 seconds to sell myself to a corporation like Microsoft. Like I just did a audition for Microsoft. I just did a commercial for Panasonic last week, and I had 90 seconds to tell them who I was and how I can help Panasonic sell their product. My look had a lot to do with it, but what I said sold the package. It was like, okay, we like this guy, his personality, his energy is going to take us and make this product soar. So let's use this guy. So that's where concise in your communication helps you achieve and accomplish your goals.
So yes, that's beautiful, Daryl. But so for some of you, one thing that I want you to practice is your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch, Daryl already mentioned that, it's about 90 seconds or less of your type of presentation. It could be your presentation, it could be your introduction, or if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a startup, or if you're just somebody with an idea, always practice your elevator pitch. The idea of elevator pitch means it is the time it takes to ride an elevator from the bottom floor to the top floor, which means if you are actually were trying to work in the particular job, and then you got into an elevator, you have the chance to see the CEO of that company right there. How do you convince him or persuade him in that short period of time to bring you in for a little thorough interview? So you have only 90 seconds or less. So that's when you practice the concise level of your introduction of who you are, your product. If you're selling a product, you're not gonna, one thing that you're not gonna do, you're not gonna be telling all the details of your product in those 90 seconds or your service. You're not telling, you're telling exactly who you are, what you do, and what your product or service can do to help that person. And you do that in 90 seconds. And I recommend every single person to practice the elevator pitch, whether it is just your simple introduction. Like you can go to job interview. Sometimes just saying that I'm a teacher, for instance, can be like, but when can be a little bit not interesting because what you are doing is you want to give people what is called the conversational thread. The conversational thread means you give people things to pull from and find interest in order to ask more questions, to you. So if you see sometime like you are, maybe you are just an engineer, it doesn't cause people to want to know more about that. But if you see that what I do help people to be able to better improve, the user, the computer, whatever that is. So now it gives a little bit more conversational thread. I am a mom. It's so simple. I help the future leaders of tomorrow. I raise the future leaders of tomorrow. That's more appealing than just a mom. You can say mom, but you can actually add a little bit of that because it gives a conversational thread. That's how you actually can make your elevator pitch quite interesting. So keep it short, keep it to the point. Don't go around. Say what you have to say. Go directly to what exactly you want to say. You would make your presentation, your introduction, your pitch very concise. And people love that. Any question about that? Any comment?
When you're saying concise, you mean exact. Is that what you mean?
Yes, in that sense. Just say what you want to say. If anything else is not necessary, you don't have to include that in your presentation. So just say exactly what you want to say.
This is Rebecca. Okay, my biggest problem is that I get excited about what I'm talking about, and then I seem to, which I know that means I don't trust or something. I talk over, not all the time, not the whole thing, but a little bit of the beginning stage of someone else talking, I'll start saying something. And I don't mean it rudely. I'm just get excited about what I'm talking about. Daryl knows me very well. I hate that. And I hate that I do it, but how do I don't know what to put it under, clear, concise, or compelling, because again, it's a how do I stop that so that you know what I'm saying? Anyway, see, there you go.
No,
But this is a comment for Daryl and Elvis and Rebecca. The funny thing is, I attended a networking event on Thursday, and everybody would come to me, "Hi, I'm this is blah blah blah." Not the perfect home communication, but like, okay. But the funny thing, I was bored. I wanted to talk to the people like Rebecca, who were like, not you, Rebecca, like the hot messes. that shows me the passion. And so, I mean, I go out of my way
Exactly.
to
Yes.
understand people. Now, if you're doing a corporate job or stuff, maybe not the best advice, Rebecca, but I personally go out to look for the people with that passion who are scratching their head and stuff when I'm meeting in a networking event versus the people that have the well polished speech.
No,
Thank
and
you.
then,
No, I'm so grateful for that because that's exactly, I agree with you. And I work with the Chamber of Commerce. So I plan networking events, and it's one of the hardest things and the things I do not like most of all. I'll be very honest.
no, absolutely. Brother Boyega, I mean, that's a very good point. Even in the corporate level, they don't limit it because here's the thing about people. People connect with people they feel, they feel pulled to and energy, passion. These are the things that, even if you on the corporate level, really, well, if you overdo it, of course, that you people look at it differently. But but no, initially when you have enthusiasm, when you have passion, energy, you draw people at any level in because people are drawn to those they can easily connect. And if you have enthusiasm, you draw everybody, whether it is the president of the United States or the CEO of whatever company that it's still somebody, right? It's still somebody. You want to work with somebody. You don't want to work with robot, people are so professional. And then to address the Rebecca point, although it doesn't fall in the category of clear, precise, concise, and compelling, it falls in the category of the listening skills, which is crucially, absolutely important in communication. Even if you kind of think like what you're gonna say, it's absolutely, I just want to butt it because what you say, it's exciting. No, you have to practice giving people space to finish up exactly that which they want to share. And that comes with practice. You just don't wake up one morning and become a good listener. No, it's practice. It's really when you're talking to somebody, whether it is a network event or just even your friend, you always get aware that this is my chance to practice that listening skill. Even if something inside of you is kind of like burning to see something, which it's important. And that's why we do this 5 week of boot camp, because we do have in one particular week listening skill. We really go over how can you actively listen. How could you actively, because there's a passive listening and the active listening. So what you are saying is kind of a proof of some level of passive listening, because even when somebody's speaking, you're already forming your own intervention in your head, which means you're not even listening completely to that person. You just want to say something. And that can come across a little bit rude. That can come across you would not know exactly how to respond in ways that are so from the place of knowledge, because you do not hear that person in its completion of the sentence. So it comes in the category of listening a little bit more actively.
Yeah,
I love That's awesome. Comes from the place of knowledge. There, you just said it. That's very cool.
and I wanted to chime in on listening. Another thing is once you become a very active and listener, then your evaluation of what you heard becomes another element of your communication. Because evaluation is just as important as being the keynote speaker or the leader or the first voice in the conversation. Evaluation is your absorbing the whole conversation, not only from your perspective, but from the whole perspective.
Is it good, Rebecca? Is it
Does that sound okay?
I mean, there's so much to unpack in what
No,
you.
that's perfect, guys. And I was not even going to say all this. So thank you so much. And you're right, because it's not that I'm trying to be rude or whatever, but I do get excited. And I see that as our friend Elvis was talking about, it gets a little boring. And the thing is life is exciting, as Daryl always shows me. Um, there's no way I would be an actor right now, but I love my Daryl man. But thank you very much. You said several things. An active listener, you said, comes from the place of knowledge and giving people space. And I really, really appreciate that.
All right. Any more question on the concise element of communication before we touch the last part, which is last C, which is compelling? Any? Okay. So now the third C of communication is, yeah, it has to be compelling. Yes, I have to feel it, that whatever you're saying, and not putting Rebecca on the spot, but a compelling aspect of communication comes from your enthusiasm as well. Like when you say something, you're enthusiastic about it. I feel it. I feel it, really. We are human. As I said, we can only connect with those that we have that feeling, the energy that is so compatible. And your enthusiasm can come across a little bit in that compelling aspect of it. So if you're saying something, if you're communicating with somebody, try to make it compelling. Compelling, that means somebody find interest in you or in your message. Somebody find interest in you, in your message. How you make your message interesting. Your message, you have to believe in whatever you share. And when you believe, it comes across in your energy. When you have a passion about what you share, when you think that the product that you are actually selling can solve somebody's problem, can help person to get well, it comes across. Just imagine, for instance, I'm selling a product that can cure cancer. I'll be like, you see this product, yeah, if you take it, that's gonna absolutely change your life. Compared to this product, if you take this product, I guarantee that would really eradicate whatever that you. So you see, there's a difference there. I don't believe when you say something that's going to help me in the way that is nonchalant, in the way that is so lame. So in the way, so it has to come from your passion. And also an aspect of compelling is what the product does. What is it that is unique about your product or your service? And that is called the unique value proposition. If you are pitching a product, for instance, yeah, you selling this. What makes you different from the other person? That's when the compelling aspects of your share comes in. What is it unique with your communication that if I go to Daryl, I will not get something different? And I will tell you that, my ability to communicate, to help you see communication as the skill that you need every single day, is that I bring a cultural nuance, because I grew up as an African, and there's so many layers of communication that we missed growing up, that now I can teach many other immigrants based on that layer that we miss. Things like eye contact, that is not so common in our culture, so I can bring that nuance. So which means I can relate so much in somebody who's not American, because I'm not American. I was on the other side, but now I'm on this side, which means I know exactly what it takes to go over that bridge, that little cultural nuance, that little bit of cultural intelligence when it comes to communication. So I can bring you that uniqueness in my ability to communicate. Yes, if you find another American who can share the communication, like training, they would teach you what other Americans teach, but I would teach you adding to that little nuance, that cultural nuance in it. So that gives me that little unique value proposition in my communication, bootcamp, my communication training. So just an example. So what distinguishes you from the other person who's selling the same thing? That's where you're going to underline your unique value proposition. That's a compelling aspect of your pitch. That's a compelling aspect of your communication. Is it clear, guys? Is it a question, comment? I just want to hear. I just, and then another aspect, if nobody has a question, is you storytelling. Storytelling is your sticky element of how you communicate. The sticky element. I say sticky because it sticks. That's what people remember. Yeah, I can tell you about anything. I can tell you the fact, the logic, the statistic. But when I use story, you remember that. You remember the story. And there's a reason for that. And in our boot camp, we talk about the very first week, we help you craft the good elevator pitch and how you tell a story, right? We go to different elements. Why story is a powerful element of your communication. We cannot go over now, but story is everything in your communication. That's why in the third C, using story is really your best friend, because people may forget sometime your name. People may forget a little bit what you do, but the story that you mention in your page, people would never forget.
No, you're absolutely right. Again, Rebecca, thank you for saying that. What you did say is, in your message, it has to solve someone's problem. And as Daryl was talking about, Chris and I, he actually started a nonprofit that brings people out of homelessness and addiction off the street because we were getting sick of stepping over them, and has created a maintenance crew. And it's just blown up. And it mostly, when we allow them to tell their stories, does it shine. So thank you so much for that as well, because it is solving so many problems.
Oh, Elvis, talk about a master communicator. Her husband he's got so many wonderful testimonies. And these two I met them back in the early 80s, and we've been friends for like 4 decades now. And I just can't tell you how much influence we've had over small businesses, small communities, small cities. Geez, Rebecca, man, just think how much we've done in the past 40 years, Chris.
What it's called is God is good. He's not on this call for the second, but he'll be right back.
You are so right. You are so right. God is wonderful. And it all stems from I would access my communication abilities with my networking partners. It works. I got a partner on the line right now. He's got a nonprofit, A Father Forever. He's teaching men how to be fathers in their home. He would think that it would be a natural transition for a man to understand how to be a parent. But he's teaching men how to actually deal in their own homes and be the best father they can be. And he's going to produce a golf tournament pretty soon. And we're working on pitching that right now. So, it's just endless what you could do with your communication skills and how you build bridges over rivers and streams and obstacles and differences and difficulties by just having these 3 C's in place.
And Daryl, you're gonna like a funny story. So I'm a Toastmaster too, but I'm a business engineer. I go by bullet points and stuff like that. So, but anyway, they enrolled me in a Toastmasters competition. Like, okay, I have my slide deck. They're like, slide deck? Like, we don't do slide decks. Storytelling. I'm like, storytelling? I'm like, so that was funny. But then recently, this is not my original thought. I saw a guy who was like, never tell a story without making a point. I never make a point without telling a story. And storytelling is I'm still learning that part, but
Yeah.
storytelling is definitely that's what people want to hear.
Quintessential.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Brother Vahiga, you're right. I mean, again, you might think that because you are an engineer or you are a construction worker or you are, I don't know what you can imagine that what you can do, it's only just giving bullet point and PowerPoint or slide, whatever. No, I mean, people would actually look at their phone. But when you tell a story, my goodness, again, if you are part of the boot camp, so story is the reason why maybe because sometimes it's good to know why a story is so powerful, right? And part of the reason why story is powerful is because it's innate. We are storytellers inherently, which means our ancestor, the fathers and gatherers who used to live in cave, in the caves, in the savannas of Africa. What happened is they used to hunt by day, and by night they would come and sit around fire. And what they did at that time is just swap stories. And story was really fundamental because if you didn't pay attention to these stories, you could pass for a tiger's lunch. So these stories were meant to actually, yeah, no, so this story were meant to tell some of the the adventure during the day, the adventures, like the region that were, I mean, in those times there were bigger tiger, these tigers, these bigger predators, that it was good to live in the community. If you venture alone in the particular unknown area, you could really victim. So when they come at night and swapping this story, this is what happened during the day. I went far east or far west, and I was confronted by these bigger tiger. So you have to pay attention to these stories. There were no devices at this time. There were no televisions. The only thing that happened, and I grew up in that kind of, because I grew up in the village. My grandparent, that's the only thing we did when we were at the evening at home. Our grandparents used to tell a story after every night, every single night. It was just a story. It was just a story. There was nothing else to do. We didn't have anything else to do at night. It was just story. So which means story is embedded, it's in our DNA. So now the question is, there are some stories and there are some absolutely powerful story that can move the world, that can stop movement, that can change the world. That's how it's good to tell a better story. You have to learn how to tell a better story, a story that has a climax, a struggle, a difficulties, and a triumphant end. So these are the elements of the story that makes the story so powerful. You cannot just say that I woke up one morning and went to the market and bought some cheeseburger, whatever, and come back home and eat it. It was a good day. No one would connect with you. But if you tell a story that has difficulties, Daryl knows that, especially living, in the Hollywood, how these movies are storytelling, right? Titanic, they built this powerful boat, beautiful, amazing, shining. Everybody was happy, and they were doing the voyage from England to the Americas. Everybody was dancing, drinking, whatever. Life was beautiful. All of a sudden, film. The iceberg that you introduce the difficulties into the story. My God, you are almost at the edge of your seat. What happened now when you're hearing, when you're watching this story? And then along the way, the hero's journey, you are with them. Are they going to survive? What are they going to do? So that's how story is so powerful. It takes you in the journey. You travel with the storyteller. You travel with them. That's why story is absolutely crucially important. So,
And that same level of excitement and enthusiasm can be in all of your testimonies and all of your stories. And when you share it like that, oh man, it's magnetic.
I'm telling you, man, it's sticky. That's what I say. The story is sticky, it sticks, you go home, it's in you. You'll be like, what is in you? Oh, it's that story. It's a story of that guy. So that's why the story is so wonderful. I think that you too.
Friends online here, like William Denson and Chris Evans and even Eden. I don't call those guys unless I got some time to hear some stories.
And
whiskey
and
helps
they
with
say I talk a
storytelling.
lot. Yeah.
You talk
So I don't know if anyone has any more questions. So these are the 3 C's of communication. Remember, your communication has to be simply clear.
Can you explain? Daryl said evaluation is absorbing the, and I missed that one word. What does that say one more time, buddy?
Oh, evaluation is listening and absorbing the conversation,
Ah,
then giving back to it, like responding to that point on the conversation. So not only are you like the keynote, like you talking on the conversation, but sitting back and listening to it, you become an evaluator. So now your opinion matters in that conversation. And me and Elvis used to go at it, man, with evaluations, storytelling. Anytime he was storytelling, I was trying to compete with this guy. Evaluating, I was trying to evaluate next to this guy.
No, it was a healthy, when we were a Toastmaster, because of course, just like you, Boyega, and we were a Toastmaster for years. We did like, I don't know, over 10 years. A Toastmaster, of course, we won competitions,
What Toastmasters were you at?
we were in Culver City. I don't know if Culver City Toastmasters.
4211.
4211, yeah. 182, yeah. We could be together.
Yeah, I was in City Speakers in Santa Monica by the Water Gardens.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I never.
You guys were almost as good as us.
Sandra Wallach. Did you guys know Sandra Wallach?
No.
She's a phenomenal speaker. She was like the storyteller and speaker of our club and stuff.
Okay. So William, are we Stanford? We good? Tower, Abiela, another Rebecca, Adosoye. So
Daryl and Elvis, I'm sorry, Tennessee, I don't mean to say a club, but it would be good if you did table topics for people just to get them out of their shyness.
Yeah, I know her. I know. So let's see. Let's see if we can do that. The table topic. It's like just ask the question and then you have maybe just a couple of minutes, no more than that, to respond. Let's try that. William, are you ready to do something like that, buddy? Daryl, you can take this part and then ask some questions to people. Go ahead, Daryl.
What's your next project, William?
Good morning, everyone. My name is William Denson, founder of a nonprofit, A Father Forever. Father's Day celebration at the golf course, Chester Washington Golf Course in Los Angeles. A Father Forever, our belief is we are restoring families one father at a time. So on Father's Day weekend, that Friday, we're having a golf tournament. And it's all about having fun. It's not about who wins, who has the best score and all that. It's just having fun, networking, sharing stories, because everybody has a story when it comes to a father, good, bad, or indifferent. We all have a story. And we're just hoping you can go online to fatherforever.org and register if you play golf. We would love to have you there. So, a Father Forever.
Nice.
That's good. I mean, I can tell that you are really got your pitch really down.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, down. I mean, the only thing is 2 things, small things is, don't rush to it, because trying to, as I mentioned about being clear, especially in articulation, something to be aware of it a little bit more, because even though you're native, you still think maybe it's okay just to say it, but you can find people who are not native, who want to be part of this thing, but they miss out on maybe one important element of your share simply because you rush through certain words. I've been in United States for over 20 years, so I can understand clearly, but there's still some places that just brush quickly for me. And then at the end, especially when you do your call to action, don't underplay the tone of it. Don't underplay because you kind of bring it down a little bit as though it wasn't important. You got to keep the volume at the end of your call to action, join us if you got to keep it up. And in fact, you got to even make it the most powerful moment of your share, at the end when you give that call to action. You almost like a lose energy at the end, like, oh, so no, just keep it strong and vibrant. Just a quick evaluation on that.
Well, I appreciate that and I receive it because I think it was Rebecca, when she gets her passion or gets excited, like, you get going and I've been told that I do talk too fast, but when I get passionate and stuff, I need to tell my inner self, hey, just slow it down and say it. And you're right, the ending, it should be my knockout blow. The powerful knockout blow. Hey, I'll see you guys June the 13th at the Father's Day celebration to go.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it. There you go. You see, and then William, remember, you don't have to be in front of the people to hope to bring that. You have to practice on your own first. So when you are in front of the people, it comes naturally. You don't really have to think about, oh, I'm going to do it at the end, or I'm going to. No, you have to practice enough that when you're in front of the people, it's just natural. You don't even think about your body, your mind doesn't think about it. Your mouth just project it, So that's all it is.
Once again, let me make a quick comment. Again, I received that and I thank you for that because starting next week, I'll be going to to golf courses in the surrounding area in the morning and in the afternoon. I will be doing this exact pitch. And since you're giving me all this great input on it, I probably will be talking to over each day at least 50 men and women every day for the next month.
All right. You got to do that.
Yeah, and if any of you guys play golf, come on and join us on go online and register, and we'll be glad to see you.
All right.
Best of luck, William.
Right. That's good. Good. Yeah, go ahead, Daryl. Continue with the more table topic. Yeah, we want everybody to do the topic here. I know we have like 1 hour for this masterclass, but we have the passion to give you something. That's why just ask question to everybody online who's on the call.
All right, ET, I'm short on time.
Oh, really?
So got an audition in about 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay. How long you have with us?
Give you 5 more.
Okay. Just ask 2 more questions. Yeah, 2 more questions. 2 more questions. Go ahead.
Who am I asking the question to?
Yeah, maybe to anyone that they're eating the tower, they're even in Boyega, there's Stanford, you can ask, the Rebecca Adusoyo, I don't know if she can, Rebecca.
Stanford to speak. Stan, tell me about Philadelphia. What's so special about Philadelphia?
Well, in Philadelphia, we have a lot of historical sites. There's a lot to see from going around to different historical sites. We have a lot of places where you can listen to good music. There's a lot of restaurants. It's just kind of a great place to be. The only thing I don't like about our great city is when you go downtown, the parking is a problem.
Okay.
So
when a lot of times I have a one of those senior fare cards so I can get on the transportation system for free, but sometimes I don't feel like doing all that walking. So if I can go to a place where I can get out of my car and don't have to walk too far from wherever I got to go, then that's great. I like that. And what I usually do to do that is I'll get to wherever I'm supposed to be, get there early, so like I can get a good parking space. Just like yesterday, I had to go to a funeral, and and instead of getting there 5 minutes to 11 when the service starts, I got there like 9:30 when the viewing was, just getting underway, and I got a good parking spot, and that's what I'd like to do when I'm going somewhere.
At a funeral, you should have told everybody about you won the Super Bowl this year.
Well, we did win the Super Bowl, but is that what you were looking to hear? Because you told me to tell me something great about Philadelphia, and I thought I was.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's fine, Stanford. That's really fine. I mean, you can tell only what you want to tell, right? I mean, even though football was something that highlights maybe the year, but it doesn't matter what you talk about Philadelphia. But that's good. That's good. But just keep practicing. I mean, communication is just practice anything that you want to say on your own that you are ready to do. Yeah. Last question for you, Daryl. I'm gonna continue with some other question if people are willing to respond. So, and before we close it up.
Stan came to our 5-week boot camp this last session, and he went from, I wouldn't say like empty to half full now. He's getting there. And Stan, practice is going to make you better and better and better, because he had nothing to work with when he first came to us. And now he's really starting to find his way, and he's doing a great job. Stan, I'm proud of you.
Okay. Thank you.
Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah, give a last question for you, Daryl. I think you can, Rebecca Adesoyo. So if she's
Fine, Chris Evans.
no, Rebecca Adesoyo.
Rebecca's. Oh, okay, Rebecca. Tell me about your best Christmas present.
Adesoye, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, what did you say?
Tell me about the best present you ever received.
Presents.
Uh-huh.
That would be a Christmas singing tree when I was 7. Yes, my father gave it to me, and I cherished it till I was about 20 something, and I didn't know who threw it away. So that's the best gift I've ever received.
Okay, I think that's good. The way to practice that sort of question is to make people understand how you felt about that gift, for instance, right? How did that gift affect you? So how did you feel about that gift? What did you do with that gift? To give you just room to elaborate a little bit more. That's how communication is, not just like open-ended question, open close question. So I mean, just practice things like that. Even practice on your own, Rebecca. Practice on your own, to talk about your best gift ever, how you can talk to a friend, like you talking to a friend a little bit more. Yes. And I think Daryl, maybe a last thing before you leave. I think you're about to leave, Daryl. So just share with us your last, not a question, but just
But my last comments and thoughts.
Yeah.
May 3rd, we're 8 o'clock every Saturday morning for 5 weeks. We're doing a boot camp to take the fundamentals of communication, such as, and help me with this, Elvis. We're doing the pitch.
Yeah. We are doing the storytelling at the very first week. We're doing voice mastery, which means communication is how you project your voice, how you use vocal variety. And then the third week, we are doing body language, which is fundamental, your gesturing, your facial contact, or even if you are presenting on the stage, how you can move on the stage, left, right, and center. And then the fourth week, it's actually listening skills. So we go, just like Rebecca mentioned, we go over how you can actively listen to somebody and you respond based on what you listen from the place of knowledge. And the last week we wrap it up with extemporaneous speaking, a little bit like a table topic. Especially we put emphasis on the small talk that can lead to big talk. So those are the different elements or the structure of our bootcamp to really give you fundamentals that would transform you into a better communicator, a communicator that is confident and ready to go to that next level of life with their communication. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Do these exercises on a weekly basis. There's homework involved where you come back and you do presentations, you evaluate it, and help you strengthen the areas that weak, give you point of view on conversation pieces that will make your conversation a lot more effective and a lot more persuasive and a lot more poignant and positive. And with that being said, E.T., you can close it out.
Yes, I think you can reach out to, we can reach out to you, as you are here. So which means if you want to be part of this a journey, we call it the crusade. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to Daryl if you've got the information of this masterclass through Daryl, or you can reach out to me, and then we'll give you a little bit more info of how you can be part of us. And remember, we also from time to time offer free masterclass just to give you some element that you can go, at least for the time being, use that to be able to improve your level. It's called Kaizen, just by 1%. Just by 1%. Because what you've learned today, I'm sure that if I meet you a week from today, and if you've done your homework, practice what we've learned today, you would be one step above where you are before you join this group today. So, and I think, I don't know if anybody else has anything else to say or add. We can close it, all together.
Thank you very much, guys.
I got some extemporaneous speaking. What exactly are you saying to me when I need to use extemporaneous speaking?
Extemporaneous speaking means you speak off the cuff. I think you've been in Toastmaster. That means you are not prepared to speak, and then somebody asks you a question at random on the street, wherever you are, so you can speak on the spot. You have not prepared. You have not taken the time to craft the speech, and then that's what extemporaneous does, without time. So you didn't have time to prepare. That's what extemporaneous means.
That's what I just did when Daryl asked me that question.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
It shows I'm getting old because I'm forgetting. I should know what extemporaneous mean, but now I got it.
Yeah, we will. On the bootcamp, we will really dissect of how you can be prepared for such type of question or such that type of presentation. So,
just so you guys know, this is Rebecca. I put this. Daryl sent it to me yesterday. I put it on the Facebook invitation for the Chamber of Commerce here in Sacramento. So if you want to send me more information about the masterclass, I'd be happy to share as well, because people are looking for this kind of thing.
All right, that's beautiful. Daryl going to send you more information, Rebecca. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. I love you, Dad. I love you, buddy.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it was a plum pleasure of really having this moment, sharing this Saturday morning with you all. You are the reason why we keep getting better, because we want to give you the best that we possibly can. And we hope that we can use all that we've shared today to improve your relationship with your significant other, your friends, your family, and anybody you come in contact with. Or maybe just go to that next level of life, because that's what communication is. It's not a skill that you keep at home. It's not a skill that you put in the closet somewhere. You use it every single time that you open your mouth. You are using the skill of communication, because The definition of communication is simply to make people do what you want them to do or see what you want them to see in the way that is clear, concise, and compelling. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a very
Good
good
job,
time.
guys.
man.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.